guys, so I'm Haley, here to basically journal my first pregnancy as I figure it out over the next 9 months, and hopefully even help some girls and some couples out along the way, kind of with my journey, maybe as they're going through it too. So as far as me, I am a wife, I'm a dog mom, I'm a baby mama to be, I'm a nurse, I'm a health coach, I'm a Jesus lover, I'm kind of overall a 27-year-old hot mess. And not only that, I'm a little over 8 weeks pregnant, which is kind of terrifying in itself. And so what I want to talk about today was when you first find out that you're pregnant, there are all these rules all of a sudden that your doctor is going to give to you. I had no idea that that was going to happen. So I'm like living my life, right? And I'm doing whatever I want. And then all of a sudden it's like, no, you're not. This is what you're doing now, and this is actually what you're not doing. I don't know how many times my husband Nathan has said, wow, I do not like all of these rules. I had no idea there were going to be so many rules about being pregnant, as if he's the one that's pregnant, right? So let's break these down. So rule number uno, let's talk about medications. So like I said, I'm a nurse, and if you know a nurse, or you've ever met a nurse, or you have a friend or a family member that's a nurse, or maybe you're a nurse, you probably know that at all times they have a stockpile of medications with them. And I am here to fully admit that I take way too much ibuprofen. Way too much. Got a headache? Ibuprofen. PMS? Ibuprofen. Cramps? Ibuprofen. Toothache? Ibuprofen. Hate your freaking job? Ibuprofen. Point is, when you get that first positive pregnancy test, no more ibuprofen. Like, none. But don't worry, Tylenol will work. Get over it. You're taking Tylenol, girlfriend. Rule number 2, no booze. This is obvious, right? But if you're like me, and you know you're not pregnant yet, but you're maybe trying to get pregnant, you can just kind of get that wine fix in until you know you're officially pregnant. I'm not saying I did that, but like if you wanted to, that would be an option maybe. Honestly guys, ever since like week 5 when we officially knew like this is happening, this is pregnancy, like we are pregnant, oh my gosh, the thought or the sound or the smell especially of booze was enough to make me want to vomit. Now that might change in second trimester, and I'll let you know if it does. I'm still not going to drink, but I think probably my body's trying to tell me something. Moral of the story, don't be dumb, don't drink, don't even risk it. Rule number 3, caffeine. So the most basic thing about me is my coffee addiction, but not because I'm like a basic bee, because I'm really not. I mean, maybe a little bit, to an extent, but really not. But more so because I'm a nurse and I really like coffee and I really like caffeine. Not only that, I like good coffee, not the crap coffee that you put like 8 ounces of creamer and cancer sugar in, right? Right? Like give me the black coffee, the good stuff, straight, no room. Don't even ask me if I want room in my coffee. Which brings us to rule 3. Limit yourself to 1 cup of coffee per day. And guys, I'm pretty sure they're talking about like an actual cup, like an 8-ounce cup of coffee. Not like my favorite mega-sized coffee mug, but like a real puny freaking cup of coffee. Pros to this: less caffeine, which let's be honest, probably isn't hurting me. Less money being spent on coffee, and I'm all for that. And less time for me to get out the door in the morning, which means more time for me laying in bed hitting snooze. Cons to this: I don't get to drink coffee. I mean, what else is there? And caffeine headache. But good thing I can take Tylenol, right? Rule number 4, no deli meat. But not only that, no deli meat, no pepperoni, no hot dog. Worst of all, no Jimmy John's. Okay, there's a little exception to this rule. You can technically have deli meat if it's steaming hot and reaches a temperature of 165 degrees. Who eats Jimmy John's hot? Pros, I can still eat bacon cooked, which who eats bacon not cooked? Also, I'm not a big fan of deli meat, but Jimmy John's. And deli meat has lots of bad cholesterol, so you're welcome. Cons, obvious. Rule number 5, fitness. Here's a happy rule. You can still work out. Wait, you mean I don't have an excuse to not have to work out now? Contrary to popular belief, guys, they actually want you to be active and work out while you're pregnant. Like, they don't want you to start eating for 2 the second that you find out you're pregnant. My OB basically said, since I've already been active, that I can continue to do whatever it is I normally do as far as fitness goes, as long as my heart rate doesn't go above 140. And a good rule of thumb she taught me for that is that you should still be able to hold a conversation while you're working out. If you can't hold a conversation while you're working out, you're probably overdoing it and you need to either stop or slow way down. Let's talk about my favorite rule. Rule number 6, carbs. So most research and OB docs will tell you that you should actually be taking in like 7 to 10 servings of carbs per day now. Hold up, bad news, bread lover. That doesn't mean you need to be stuffing your face with donuts every single morning. This means like complex carbs, like the good carbs, which we'll talk about in a second. All I know is since about week 5 to 6, my body has been craving carbs non-stop. I think there's probably a reason for that. And I literally some days have to like force myself to put the donut down, or like don't get in the car and drive to the donut shop. So what kind of carbs are you supposed to eat? Good carbs. So what are good carbs? Whole grain breads are good, like barley, rye, wheat. Brown rice is good. Fruit is good. Not a ton of fruit. For example, a serving of fruit can be half a banana and only half because of the sugar content in it. So just be careful with the fruit that you're not eating way too much sugar. Also, starchy vegetables like squash and sweet potatoes, those are really good carbs. Beans are good carbs. Kidney, black, garbanzo, those are all good carbs with lots of fiber, which is good for you. I also love my steel cut oats, my quinoa, and my millet, but I save the best for last. Popcorn. Popcorn's actually a whole grain, and you can eat this as a good carb, so you're welcome. Just make sure you season it with some herbs or spices and not just saturate it in a ton of butter, although that is the best popcorn. Okay, so what are bad carbs? Sugar. Okay, just don't drink soda. If you do anything, just don't drink soda. I don't know why I'm saying soda, because I live in the Midwest, and really, it's called pop, guys. Really, don't drink or eat anything that says high fructose corn syrup in it, okay? So if you want to feed yourself poison, that's fine, but don't feed it to your baby. All right, guys, this brings us to rule number 7, cheese. I know this sounds almost as bad as the coffee rule, but there is hope. So a good rule of thumb of cheeses to stay away from, if you will, are those wonderful, soft, crumbly cheeses that we all love, like blue cheese, feta, queso fresco. But there's a but. As long as they say that they're made with pasteurized milk, you're good. The same thing goes for that amazing creamy white queso that we all love at your favorite traditional Mexican restaurant. Just be a weirdo like me if you really want to eat it. Embarrass your friends, embarrass your husband, and ask every waiter at every restaurant if their cheese is made with pasteurized milk. Yes, I do that. They won't know, but they'll ask, okay? And if you're still unsure, just avoid it. Rule number 8, this is the last rule. This one is for anybody who wants to be extra safe, okay? This rule is about Zika zones. Basically, don't travel to anywhere that's warm and wonderful and tropical. Just kidding, you can go to Hawaii. But really, places like Mexico, Dominican Republic, southern Florida, Costa Rica, any of those places that are considered Zika zones, you don't really want to go to. If you want to be on the safe side, just don't go. If you've been recently, all you gotta do is go to your doctor and get tested. It's a really quick and simple blood test, and they'll be able to tell you within a week. That's what we did. Zika free for life. That's all the rules for now. That was easy, right? Okay, if that stressed you out, overwhelmed you, made you feel like ripping your hair out, it's okay. Just take a deep breath. It's all gonna be fine. Here's what you really need to know. Listen to your body. Get tons of sleep. This is the one time in your life where you don't have to feel guilty about being completely unproductive and taking naps at any point in time throughout the day or even before bedtime. Trust me, I know how you feel. I am the queen of naps. I am also the queen of getting stressed out that I'm not being productive. Just accept that your body is literally working 24/7 to grow a thriving and healthy and beautiful baby, and let yourself rest when you're exhausted. Eat small, frequent meals throughout the day. That'll help sustain your energy, and it'll also fight off any chance of morning sickness or nausea that might hit you throughout your day. Enjoy the journey. We're all here figuring out together. And believe it or not, there's actually a few women in the world who have been pregnant before and already done the work and figured this out and survived this 9-month journey. Last thing, breathe, sleep, eat, and get excited. You're about to have a baby. Thanks for watching, guys. Just like, comment, or subscribe to follow our pregnancy journey and learn more tips and failures, I'm sure, throughout the next 7 months of our journey.